Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your favorite girl, Bridget Kadoanya. If this is the first time you're seeing this pretty face, please do not make it your last by hitting the subscribe button below and turning on your notification so as to get my videos when next I post them. And if it's not, hi my loves. So guys, this video is I'm making this video just talk about my feelings, and my birthday is coming up in a couple of days, and I feel I don't know how I feel. I just thought to share it here. First of all, I'll be working from home remotely, and yeah, all will be joining me to make money, right? So dating back to last year, I remember by this time last year I was done with service. I finished service around August last year, or even while serving. I served at the Federal Airport Authorities, the airport, the international airport. That was where I served, and it was just a whole lot of emotions, thinking about where to go from here, how to, start a career. It has just been me and God, basically. I mean, all my life, right? So I had that feeling, I had the fear, I just kept moving, I kept going. I am not one to I've always been an ambitious person. I am always that person that so I feel like I have been hustling all my life, having to do different jobs, just try to make ends meet. But it is different from starting like an actual job, building a career, because it's a different ball game entirely. It was when I finished service and when I was, putting together my CV, I realized that all of those menial jobs would not necessarily count as a part of, what you have or how you have built your life or how you have built your career. It's just a side gig, something that would put food on your table at the time. It was, I understood that, and and I've always wanted to build a career. To be very honest, I've always wanted to build a career. So I had that fear. I went on to write my professional exam in September last year. I mean, it was a shocker of my life. I think I talked about it in one of my previous videos where I wrote the exam, and to my greatest surprise, I failed 2 out of 4. That's never happened. I've never tasted failure. I don't know if that was God's way of, making me understand that there are always two ways or two sides to life. There are always two sides to life, and there'll always be the good and the bad days. I wrote the exam. I put in my best. I was studying like I would when when I used to be in school. I used to study a lot for my exams. So I studied that hard. Yet, I mean, it discouraged me a whole lot. It made me understand that this life, this life, nothing is promised. Honestly, some days are just good, while some days are bad. That was, how it made me feel. Cause in my head, if now that I am not busy with work, I put in so much work to study for this exam. What happens when I get an actual job and I have to go to work every day and still come back to read? So what would happen? So it discouraged me. I would not lie. I made excuses for myself as to why I shouldn't write it again. It really broke me. I remember like for about one week or more, I was just crying indoors. I refused to come outside. It touched me. But we don't give up here, right? I may have taken so long to, pull myself together to decide to write the exam, but the truth is here I am, and I'm going to be writing the exam in a couple of days. And another is I would like to really just express how grateful I am. Same last year, I started to search for jobs. I settled for, I don't know how to say, but I just settled for a job at the time. I'm always a believer of doing something other than not doing anything at all. So I just settled for a job that came my way. At the time I was working, I knew I wasn't so happy because it wasn't what I wanted and it wasn't where I wanted to be. I knew that I had it at the back of my mind, but there was little or nothing I could do. So I just kept at it, I just continued to do it with the hope that God, God would, do something for me. I was caught up in between doing a lot of things with very minimal resources and sha, I thank God. So fast forward to after my exam that broke me, my birthday came, I felt sad. I hold birthdays in high esteem and I always look out for people on their birthdays, but I don't get the same energy on my birthday. I don't know if it's normal or it's just life. But I know that people don't look out for me as much as I look out for people on their birthdays. I would not say it makes me sad. It just gives me a whole different perception about life. About life that the fact that you care about people doesn't mean they would care about you too. Nobody has that, nobody's saddled with that responsibility, right? People would always be people. I understood that and I just let it go. I just took it as a part of life and part of growing up. So fast forward to my apartment. I've always wanted to have you know an apartment. I've always wanted to move out of where we used to stay, myself and my mom. And I knew, of course, there was no way I would move out without taking my mom along. She's my handbag, right? So I knew I wasn't going to leave without her. I was praying to God because the job I was doing at the time wasn't sustainable. Although I had my savings, I'm a very prudent saver. I'm a very prudent person when it comes to finance. I don't joke with my finances. I'm not easily carried away by what people do and I have to do it. No, I'm not that person. I got the apartment last year. I started to fix it to my taste. It might not be, all perfect. It might not be like the best house ever, but I am very grateful. And I also feel like I did a good job fixing this place to the extent that I did and I could. I'm a very strong believer of do what you can or don't kill yourself because it is never going to end. There are going to be many other years to explore, and have fun. It is just my process and I understand it. Moved in January. My mom moved in later with me. I didn't think I was ever going to pull this up. I never thought. Nobody saw it coming. I didn't see it coming. Nobody. It was a shocker for even me, the doer. And the next on my mind was starting up my YouTube. I've always been an admirer of people who have YouTube channels, and I'm not so much of an outgoing person, and I feel like the only way I can actually express myself and put myself out there is to have a YouTube channel and have people, watch me express, talk about my life, talk about my views about life and all of that. I've always wanted it, and I just thought, you know what? It's not that deep. What do you need to start? Get a ring light, use your phone. You don't have to get a camera yet. Use your phone, just do something and start from there. Before you know it, you get to grow. Because, of course, I know that by this time next year, it would be a whole different story for me. as to how much I have grown, as far as there is life. God spare our lives, amen. So I started it, and the love has been massive. I cannot lie. I know there are days when I feel so discouraged to even put out a video. There are some days when I just be like, you know what? We know they give up for here. So I pick up myself again and I'm shooting, right? That's just been a whole lot, having to do this, do that, do this, do that. So yeah, I started my YouTube channel. Here I am, still shooting, and by God's grace, I'll continue to shoot for y'all. So yeah, that passed, and I did something really significant for myself this year. I don't think I want to talk about it yet. I don't even think I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it here, but you know, it made me so proud of myself. It made me believe in my strength. The whole of last year somewhat um, made me second guess my abilities, having to fail my exams, having to, the fear of what next to do with my life, where to be, how to go about it. So I second guessed myself a whole lot last year, but this year, with that significant project I pulled up, I mean, I did this. I just gave it to myself. And one thing I am very grateful for is the fact that I my level of procrastination has drastically reduced. I am that person now that would want something and go for it. I don't even, as long as it is not going to break me, right? As long as it is not going to break me, I'll just go for it. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So as long as it is not going to break me, I go for it, and you know, I just do it. That's what it is. I just do it. So that passed, and it was time for, I got a proper job. Oh my god. I got a proper job in one of the most amazing companies anybody would want to work in. I mean, starting my career in such a company is really big for me. It is really big, and that was God coming through for me again and again and again. Thanks to Him, massive thanks to God and the amazing people He put around me. My goodness. I, I no. Cha. I didn't see it coming as soon as it came. And here's one advice. Whenever you feel like something is impossible, just talk to God. So God has been my strength. He has been everything. I look at how far my life has played out, and many years back, I wrote out how I want my life to be. Oh, at this age, I want to be done with school. At this age, I want to be done with service. At this age, I want to get a job. At this age, I want to get married. Let's leave the marriage part first, but let's focus on the other things. I gave it all to God. I literally, you know what? Now your property, my baba. I don't know anybody. I don't get anybody. Now you, I dey look up to. Carry. I just, dropped it there. Constantly reminded him. Constantly spoke to God. I cried many times when I felt inadequate. Many times when it felt like it was never going to get better. Many times when, It felt like I was alone in this life. I felt that way many times. I felt alone many times, you know, and I just watch how my life. Sometimes I even feel like I am really ungrateful because if I look at everything, it just keeps falling in place. I think that was like the latest miracle from God, putting me, giving me not just a job but a proper job and in a reputable company as well. Um, it seemed impossible. Sorry. It seemed impossible. Moving forward, I don't even think I want to continue to request. I just feel like I should give gratitude. Although yes, this past year has been filled with so much gratitude on like the previous years when I get to, talk to God, request. It is the year that I've been the most calm. I've been so calm about life. I've been so calm about everything. Because again, I got to understand that it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but God that showeth mercy. I look at myself and I'm like, what what do I even do differently? What do I even work as hard as people who wake up at 4 to push trucks? Yet God just shows up. So I've been so calm with this year. I've had a different perception of life. I've had to see, you know, impossible become possible. I've had to see people who were looked down on become things that nobody expected or thought they would. This past year has taught me a lot. I cannot lie. It taught me humility. It taught me never to discredit or disregard anybody because God can use anybody to make your life better. In fact, the people that you think would be there would not even have a role to play. They wouldn't have a role to play. It could be a total stranger or just somebody you never expected. I learned that this past year. At the time when you feel like you can no longer go on, is when God says, "You just they play, just they play, because you will continue." And boom, He shows up. Now wow. I just want to encourage you. Seek God first. Believe in your abilities. Continue to do something. Never second guess yourself. Stop procrastinating. Do it anyways. And be positive at all times. You understand? So yeah, that's it guys. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share, and continue to watch. I love you all. Thank you for keeping me going. I'll see you some other time. Bye bye.